That's faster than 72. Wait, are you saying, are you thinking a quarter note beat or
I think
a half note? Yeah. So.
that's
72. If I said, maybe that feels ever so slightly too fast. That's 68. So I would probably just play around with that, and I would just like write a pencil, 68, 72, then I would come back the next day and sort of see how that feels. I'd probably push, like, yeah. What I was doing would be better. All right, let's push to 76. I could look at that. I kind of like that, depending on how you want to hear it. Now, I'm going to push to 80. 80. Not bad. If I push it to 82. That's starting to feel, for me, a little fast. So I would just play around with it and say, okay, here's like the fastest place I'm comfortable, and here's the slowest place, and then just over time, sort of. Oh, that's how I would go. Okay. I wouldn't try to lock in too soon till you know the piece better. So just sort of, I would explore it a little bit. So you said the fastest is 92? So
the best. I heard it was almost like they had break. And I looked up and I think,
first of all, I mean, yes, it is true that at Intero Hot, it will sound slower because it's happening. But I've listened to some of those recordings. I just think it's too frantic. I don't think it should be frantic. So.
I like for now Gary on the slower side.
And I also don't think that that's too fast to a person. That maybe you have to, in a couple places, like, maybe you have to go a little slower. But I for sure would not teach it in 4. Okay? I would teach it in 2, even if you have to pick up slowly. I think, yeah, if you teach them da 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 dee da dee da da da, then you've already built in something in the music that's not really there. Even that's not that much faster what I just did, but I would make them be thinking, yeah. So, if I were looking at this, just talk to me about your sort of analytical process.
So I went through, I listened to a lot of my marked entrances. This is going to be a lot of you, especially in that second Gloria. That's going to be a ton of fun.
Yep.
I want to dig more into the harmony. I need to understand page 9 and 10 a little bit better, but I know that we have this sort of spread situation happening where we're in D for a minute. I think page 9 is mostly G major. That's what we're thinking.
I crossed out on mine.
I'm sorry, so this is at the
This is just, you're in D major, there is a D natural So I just think that you're a D.
Until we.
You're a D starting on, but you just have to be starting on the fifth. That's really what it's doing.
Which, yes, but then if I take that note again, then the sopranos come in.
Okay, now you are in G.
G.
Because you had C finished with
Yeah. And then G for a while.
And this is, I would agree with you that this is G.
Until. G secondary.
Yeah, so now the second Gloria is in D rather than in A.
Cool, okay, so we agree,
Yeah, I think that's fine. I would be cautious about how much you share with the choir. That's fine, great. Okay, so then you get, and now the entrances, rather than being paired like and nicely harmonic like they're at the beginning are.
So my idea here, if I'm conducting this, is pay lots of attention to the tenor entrance, and then soprano, tenor alto. I'm sorry, tenor
Tell me where you're
entrance.
starting.
I'm sorry, this is
The bottom.
the Gloria.
Yeah, okay.
The new Gloria.
Yeah. Okay.
I am paying special attention as much as I can to all entrances of tenor, soprano, and alto, and I'm just going to get the bass going. And then let them.
That's fine, and then I don't think you can worry very much about what, I mean, you have to, I would listen more than I conducted in this section at the top of the page. Top of that next page. How do you so you have really, I think you could go after the bass though. I think it's okay. And then, how do you understand this section that starts the second measure at the top of that page? How is it sort of put together?
We have the bass is holding it down in a staggered situation between sopranos, tenors, and altos, coming in a beat after each other.
Or what if you thought of it though as a duet? Well, it's two duets. A duet between the bass and the alto. I'm sorry, let me do that again. Or actually, it starts. Depending, you could even start with the altos. On the A sharp. Yeah.
I really like it.
I would try to, I think I teach it that way.
Yes, a lot of, it's very clear in both.
And then you're back to editorial Hawks, and we can talk about that in a second. So now in your score, what's been your practice about marking your score?
Highlighting entrances, so where I think I'm going to need Q, or really the first run through was just highlighting all the entrances.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm always a little leery of over marking, you need to make yourself aware, so that's fine. Let's zoom out just a little bit. If you look at this movement, how is this movement? What's the structure of the movement?
3 big ones.
And those big parts are
The first Gloria,
right,
the first Epitaph,
right.
and then, well, I guess I need 4 parts.
Good.
Right?
That was a better answer.
Third Gloria, and then the final.
So it's really right. So let's really zoom out and just so we have. And in that Gloria, we really just have one idea with 2 little parts. It just does versions of that. That's an A major. Then we decided that the editorial Hawks is going to be kind of modulatory,
Yes.
right? Which you pointed out. We end up in D. So then the second Gloria section is in D. But unlike the first one, which basically stayed in A. So, and this is what composers do, right? We start in D because we're total and we want everybody to understand that this is an A major. He doesn't move from A major for that whole first section, right? And then he doesn't even write an accident.
Right.
There's no secondary dominant, it's A major. Now he gets to enter a box. Move a little bit, fine. Now when he gets to the second Gloria, it's going to be a little bit more modulatory, and it's going to be more contrapuntal, which you've already pointed out. So, D, and then it goes to A. Then we're at D again. Yeah, but it's really going to be, in a second, it's going to be an E7 chord. Right, in the alto, G sharp.
Yes.
Right, so that's going to throw us, well, it's just a sequence. Here, it's this.
That's right.
And then we have to get the cadence. Now we're in E, which is the dominant of A. Okay, so now we've traveled from the fourth scale from D to E. Fine, that's all you need to know. And we got there. All I would worry about is kind of be thinking about that little sequence of chords that I just did. Okay, now we have the editorial box.
Okay.
Right, but because the first time he added some, so now we're actually we're gonna be in D a little bit, right? We're gonna be in the G natural. So just like we went to G major, as you pointed out in that first section.
Of a fourth.
Right, now we're gonna go to D. Okay. We went from D to.
It's the same harmonic.
It's exactly. It's like
Just starting at
exactly.
exact.
And his voice is a little bit different.
Yeah.
And then I would be conscious of the fact that when we get a G natural, now we're getting back to A. And that's a very late 19th century
feel like that is one of the theory reports that should remember the note at the bottom.
It's just a diminished seventh chord, right?
Okay.
It's just F sharp, depending on where you, let's do it, D sharp, A sharp, A major.
That's very simple.
So, how do you mark that then in your score?
So I have the base, the big movement point, so I have D to G written,
Yeah, that's good. Okay.
or 1 to 4.
No, that's all good. I'm gonna suggest that that you mark the structure. I think that helps me rehearse. So if you, no, yeah, so that's what Dr. Johnson does, and I studied this way. You're gonna get this, like, so you would see the A section, you see the B section, and you see, but how does that get into the score? So in my mind, I would just do like, let's just say, let's pick color, and do a green line here. Okay. And like, I actually like it through, because then, if I need to go back somewhere, I can see it rather than like, we have to go back to measure, thinking of it as numbers, but it's an actual place, sorry, here. And then I.
Talk about harmonics.
No, I'm actually talking about not just the harmonic structure, the musical structure.
Okay.
This isn't, you said this is an A section, this is an B section, then there's kind of A prime and B prime, that's all it is. So, A is the end of A, it's beginning B, that's the return of A.
So what I do
what you just
is
did here.
big mark, so I have big mark
Yeah,
here.
no, that's fine. Yeah, I would actually do it here though too, so that you know that that's.
I'm looking at that page.
Yeah. Right, and I would do a color of some sort. So that, and then within that, I would do. So I should pencil like for each phrase. So I know that's one little phrase, and that's another little phrase here. So there's 1, 2, 3 phrases, that's 1, 2 phrases, that's so short. But I would do like one there, so I can see that as a chunk. There's some like there, yeah, sections, subsections. But it's really three sets of 3 measures. And then this, I would bookmark that for sure. The weird part is where this line of text comes in when he goes right, because it doesn't. He delays it here, it's in the arrow box, you see what I'm saying? He just kind of sticks it in there, in the base. So yeah, so I wouldn't worry about that, I think the way you have the mark is just fine. And then, yeah, that's great. And then I would probably mark this in some way.
Yes.
So I would see those 2 as something, and those 2 as something.
I print out multiple copies.
Yeah, it's smart. I mean, it's a process, so,
Yeah.
so you can change your mind. And then, and there are box the same thing. It's really just one big phrase. But I think this is fine. Yeah, it's all good. If you look online now, you'll see my marked version of it.
Is it in our?
Yeah, and these, Trevor just made it public,
Okay.
just like a little bit ago or something. So I actually had it. I mean, you don't have to, I mean, you do have to do that.
Yeah.
One doesn't have to. Oh, we are I just kind of like that space there. So that's marked every time. And then one of the other things I just saw Dr. Johnson's checklist, which and something that I also think is that when you give them a breath, I think you should have a really good value, rather than just being a breath. I just hate, generally speaking, I hate scores that just have.
Yeah.
Just You'll probably get it, it's a list of like when you're preparing a score, like a checklist of things, you use and actually, there's everything that's on there, I would agree, I probably might mark it slightly differently, but I think it's just a total list of what you need to sort of think about. So I've got all the rest written in, and then I added like, some little facts. Right there. And then just to remind them that X shouldn't come too soon. So it just needs to be right next to that. It's just like, yeah. Sometimes I like to just write about stuff like that. So you'll see that. Oh, so here's the other thing. This is, tell me about the dynamics now.
I haven't looked that far into it.
Okay.
I've not compared dynamics in this.
Well, let's this sort of, your instincts are, force is fire.
Sorry.
It's full, so it's gonna be loud-ish and energetic and Gloria, right?
Yes, this is an angelic choir.
Right, what does he not mark?
Doesn't mark crescendos when they do it.
Correct. Well, how do you,
Or really any dynamics.
how do you hear, right, he doesn't mark anything, how do you hear an interrupt box?
Oh my, let's do it. How am I hearing? Soft.
Yeah, I don't know why, I think I would just do that. I mean, ordinarily, I would say, try to do exactly what the composer, to the extent that the style of the composer tells you what to do, but it seems to me,
Yeah, it's a unison, it's not high in the register,
Right.
it's not,
so it's, I think it's soft.
it's grounded, maybe?
And then, so it's contrasting, then when the Gloria comes back in, and then I would go back to piano, at interrupt box, and probably it's gonna build up, and then we come back and we can talk about that. So, I actually am gonna have to do this, so let's have you do that.
Okay.
How about you tell me the tempo you wanna go at.
It's just.
Just sing it.
Gloria.
Great, great.
And don't forget about the organ.
Instead of short.
Okay, shorter, okay.
Well, it's supportive. I wouldn't hold it, I guess.
It does, I want to go church with it, I grew up church.
I'm just looking at, yeah, it's just, it's in the organ and the.
Yeah.
Good, that's great, it's really good. Let's do the opening one more time.
Okay.
Maybe just walk through the thing, I would actually step back slightly. What if that stand is 2 inches lower?
Yeah.
There, that was even, that's fine. Can you reach it? Can you reach it to flip the page? Yeah, something, that's great. I like that. All right. So think about how fast you want to go. That's really good. It's really good. Can you get them to at the very beginning to sing a little bit more energetically?
Yes.
I'm gonna see if this is good.
Would you accent that first?
Yes.
All of them?
And I would have them sing, well, you tell me how you want them to sing. You tell me. Just sing the soprano.
Gloria.
Yeah, you keep going.
Gloria.
Okay, the other thing I would, yeah, that's great. The other thing I would think about instead of the score is how do you let them really think, sing In Altissimis Deo a couple of times and think about how you want that to sing. Do that again, good. Great. The chances are you're going to have to get them to go In Alti, because they're probably going to sing In Altissimis.
Okay.
Altissimis Deo. So, pa, pa, pi, yam, bum, pi, pa, pa, pa. I'd be pretty specific about what you think you want to hear. Okay?
Do you think there should be on this step up at ELTCs and ELTCs?
I like that.
Okay.
It's fine.
I do.
The question is but I would err on the side of more bounce than less. Yeah.
So,
Right. And I would be really careful, just realize that Gloria is Gloria, Gloria. They actually have to do a tiny bit of dig. Gloria. They have to do a tiny bit of dig crescendo and then accent the reed. They can't go Gloria, or you really don't hear the reed very much. Gloria, Gloria. Gloria, and then they sing the really loud, Gloria, and then it loses its balance. So,
So space between the glory.
it's not even space, it's just a little bit, Gloria. I wouldn't try to explain it to them, I would just sing it. It's just a little bit of de crescendo is what it is, but I wouldn't do Gloria, Gloria.
Okay. I like the idea of singing it for them, modeling it rather than explaining it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Let's do that. Start at the beginning. And just don't try to overthink it, but have that sound. Pa, pa, pi, yum, pa, pi, pa, pa, pa. Have that in your head. And just see what happens with it. Pa, pa, pi, pa, 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 pa. Pa, pa, pi, pa, pa, pi, pa, pa. you have to, can you sneak in a little tiny decrescendo here? That's the downbeat right before the choreo.
Okay.
So that you're showing the shape of tatis. Then you have to do the prep for the tenors, which is
Okay.
yeah, that's great. I think in general, my exceptions to this, it's better. I hate teaching conducting by trying to tell you what to do. I think physically, the better thing is to get your brain to have some very specific musical sound that you want to hear and see what happens. More often than not, you're going to show that. Rather than
So, have it internalized, conceptualized, and just trust the body to do that.
right. I mean, yeah.
Rather than
Well, let me say this. To try to teach someone gesture in the absence of a musical idea is ridiculous. Right, in the presence of a musical idea, you may start to say things to them, but at least you have a head start. That's why I just don't like it being forced for. That's why I'm going to keep saying, how do you sing that? How do you want that to sound? Because then you're going to do, rather than just trying to look like a video of somebody conducting. Can we start at the edit our box once? And can you say to me, oh, where's this up? Just do it really quickly. And how can you make this smoother? Just show it, just do it. Great. So the main difference between ba is up and down, which the first note is kind of a bounce. Be, ba, ba, yum, bum, be, and then just take that two pattern and do that.
So like,
Just what you just did. Yeah. Okay.
so lessons.
So, so up and down, generally speaking, means more accented. Okay. Up and down, and more. The more you do this, it means smoother. Okay. So it doesn't make any sense, although you'll see people do this too. And next week I may even show you something else to do. But for now, right now, just think that the beat doesn't, the pattern doesn't look like that. It looks like this. Okay. Yeah. Good. I think, and we'll talk about this next Wednesday, because your day is Friday next week, right? How you might approach this and teach it. So we'll talk about that on Wednesday. Okay. Great. Thank you. Hi, Trevor.
Oh, you good?